Welcome to Stones River, Battle of Murfreesboro, December 31st, 1862. And I guess it drug out till the 2nd of January, and I guess they all kind of just lollygagged and recovered on the 1st of January of 1863. Anyhow, so we got off to a quick start with the Rebs over here on. You understand the Battle of Murfreesboro. Both armies were getting ready to strike the other's flanks at the same time. The Confederates just got the jump. So if we go over yonder, you've got, from center going to the left, you've got Withers, you've got Cheatham, and then you've got Cleburne, and then McCown and some cavalry come on right behind him on the first turn. So the Confederates get 5 free actions right off the bat. At the end, once I get done playing at the end of this thing, I'll do some rules review stuff. So those of you that might have the system and not played it, I can maybe help you a little bit with it. So, but they just literally they got +3 attacks in column shifts for certain things. I can't remember what it was. I'm through that turn now, and the Union troops can rout, and if they rout, they are a pain in the butt to recover. So they had 3 routed stacks. This guy actually rolled a 1 and recovered. This guy didn't, which matter of fact, he's got to retreat away. And this guy here, he rolled a 4 on his dice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, he would have, excuse me, he would have retreated away. So back that out just a little bit. So when a Union unit routs, then I think you move him initially you move him like 5 hexes away. And then if he doesn't recover, in the recovery phase, you roll a second dice, and he's got to move that many hexes away. But you move him back here towards the pike. He doesn't move off the map, and he stays right there until he recovers. So they've still got 1 stack with 2 units, and then another single unit back there that need to recover. So it was pretty devastating, but it didn't quite come out as bad as I thought. Cleburne, Withers, and Cheatham all start back in here, so they've made a little ground. But good old Sheridan, he's hung on right in here as the best as he can. Davis, his division hung on. Johnson, he was back here. He wasn't even in command of his troops at the start, so they just got smoked right off the bat. And with McCown coming on, they've sort of pushed them back. But now they're going to try to shore up their line right here. I don't have the victory locations marked on the map because there's so many of them. I'll just calculate them at the end of the game. Center, Cheatham, he pushed forward. Sheridan's holding best he can. Rousseau, who was sitting right here, moved over Rousseau came in from over in here as fast as he could get to the battlefield. Now, this is a turn continuation track game, so you're going to roll to see if you can execute a command, an order. If not, it passes to the other player, and he gets a free action. After he does his thing, he rolls on the TCT chart for his next order. And you have to decide what order you're going to execute with what units before you roll the dice. And it just goes back and forth. Once everybody's had a chance to activate, whether they refuse to activate or they activate or they pass, once everybody's got one activation, then you go to a second activation phase. Now, units that have a +2 on their leader, like Cleburne here, he doesn't have to wait till everybody's activated once. He can execute his second one right away. And I think the Yanks have 1 too. Yeah, Sheridan has 1 too. So, all right. So they're attacking over here. And then we decided to go over here and attack with Cleburne and Wood. Took them a little while to get started to hit Breckinridge, who actually has a quite good-sized division. But they're hitting Breckinridge on their own. Not so good right here. They went in here full bore. And Breckinridge's boys didn't even take a bump and just drove them back. Took 2 step losses off that stack there. Took a step loss off here. Breckinridge, these guys are sitting behind breastworks or earthworks up here. With the second activation, first activation, Wood got across the river. This guy advanced. There's an infantry unit on here. He's already been down to his reduced side. And then on their second activation, they move forward. So you can either move during activation or you can do the forms of combat. And the forms of combat mean you can just fire, which the enemy doesn't return fire at you, or you can fire and melee, which if you fire and melee, the defender gets to fire back at you, and if you fire whoever you fired at, you have to melee that unit, or you can just melee. Okay, and then that's an odds-based thing. So you got like 3 options, which is pretty cool. All right. Center of the line, Negley has just been destroyed. Okay, that's what he's got left in here. Palmer had to shift troops over here to try to cut this off, and again with Rousseau coming in here. So now the Union does have some reinforcements. You can see at the top of the map. The Confederates have a few more left, but they'll get those reinforcements later. And the Confederates have 1 stack left to come in. I think it's 1 division. No, it's the rest of Wheeler's cavalry who's scattered all over the field. All right, so real quick, I want to talk about the casualties. I don't want to burn this one up because there's going to be multiple behind this, and I will continue this on the chart here. Or I will continue the videos one after the other. Look at the losses for the Union. That's how punished they got in these first 2 turns, all right? Now, the Confederates look like they're not really taking any. Well, they have. But if there's certain actions you do to the enemy which causes you to gain morale, so you go back, you take a dot off. Now, once they get below high to average, you can never go back to high again. Well, Breckinridge had 2 at one time. He got both of them erased. Cleburne had 2. He got 1 erased. And Cheatham had 2, and he got 1 erased. All right? McCown took his first one. But the poor Yanks, they're already 5 divisions are already in the average. They can never go back to high morale state. And the worse your morale gets, the worse effect it has on you in combat and your ability to do anything. So, you're a pretty simple system. It has a command structure, like I say, which I will talk about that probably at the end of all this. But you're looking at Murfreesboro. We're 2 turns in, starting the 0730 turn, the 45-minute turns. And right now, the Confederates have the upper hand with their attack pushing, and with their defense with Breckinridge over on the other side of the river is holding. All right, we'll get back to y'all soon.